Sinclair. Senator Brown, it's coming around. You don't need it. Senator Brown, you're recognized. Go ahead, please.
Mr. President, the days of the maze soon will be over, man. Mr. President, it's been a long day. It's also been a divisive day. One would have thought that, given the importance to the other side of this bill, I would be trying to reach across the aisles, find grounds on which we could agree and move forward. But instead, some cursing and things. So let me start by saying, Senator Tomlinson has authorized me to say publicly that he made some remarks about Senator Rose Bennett Cooper, and that he regrets those remarks, and that he has actually sent you a note to that effect, apologizing for it. And that's the action of a decent man who recognize that in the heat of the moment, comments may be made, even in jest, but the reality is he regrets what was said to you. In another attempt to find some common ground, Mr. President, I would like, on behalf of all the male senators on that side and on this side, to wish all the mothers of the Senate a happy Mother's Day. When it comes, I wish to extend that on our behalf to all the staff of the Parliament who are mothers as well. And that goes to the technical people who come here and to the security forces who protect us. So happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. In fact, to all the mothers of Jamaica. Mr. President, having gotten out that part on which there's common ground, let me borrow from Senator Bennett. Lest we forget. There's a lot we shouldn't forget. It is my view that this bill is flawed. It is also, and I note, that civil society, probably 40 different NARRA in respect to the bill. I'd have hoped that at least the government would recognize their views, as well as the fact that the opposition has no problem with a vehicle for dealing with recovery. But there are areas in which we disagree. And a proposal was made. Let me make it clear, one of the reasons why people are disagreeing with aspects of the bill is something...
Senator Brown, engage your other microphone. Engage it.
Sorry, on butterfly zone.
Yeah, that's good now.
Cool, yeah. A week or so ago, in the midst of this debate about this bill, I sent a message to Dr. Monroe, and I said, do you remember the book entitled Constitutional Decolonization, the Case of Jamaica, 1940s to 62. Dr. Monroe Relax, relax. Leave Apka alone. Leave him alone. Alan, you leave him alone. Alan, leave him alone. Alan, don't. Just let me deal with it. So, Dr. Monroe, a Rhodes Scholar, wrote that as his thesis. And he published it. And it has been the foundation of many first-year students in politics at the university. In that book, which I read way back in the 70s, Monroe warned of the possibility, and that's the central thesis of the book, the possibility of a prime minister dictatorship. And I believe that fundamentally the concerns of citizens is that this bill goes too far and heads in the direction of a prime ministerial dictatorship. And I'm very clear, President, that when they're in opposition, they don't like the awesome powers that our Constitution gives to a prime minister. So much so that when they were in opposition recently, they wanted to take away the power of the prime minister to fix the election date, to set the election date. And when they came to power, having promised to have fixed election date, they resigned from it. Lest we forget. The Joint Select Committee, of which we are called for, can be time-bound, can meet regularly, including on weekends, and need not be meeting only in this chamber. Senator Gale and I sat on the BOJ, and credit to Minister then Nigel Clark. We met on Saturdays. We met during Christmas, and we got the BOJ bill ready. It's about the leadership. Many of the Joint Select Committee, of which Senator Sinclair speaks, for example, you have a meeting now, another one a month, 2 months down the line. It's about leadership. Yes. It's about priority. Yes. And the opposition is committed. Is committed to a quick turnaround of a Joint Select Committee. Yes. And it makes good sense. Absolutely. It can be done quickly. It can improve the democracy. It gets us harmony in legislation. It reduces confusion. It reduces uncertainty. And it makes better bills. So I stand on the need for the Joint Select Committee. The government says this bill is urgent. And I laugh. Because if it was urgent, there would be a date set for it to come into operations. Because that's how we set bills up. We have bills with date for it to come into operation, or date to be appointed by the minister. If this was urgent, we would say 1st of June, 1st of July. But no, it is for a date to be set by the minister. So too as Senator Rahman Small Ferguson pointed out, there's no dissolution date. So it's clear that the intention of this is for it to be a permanent arrangement under the guise of having a sunset clause, because sunset cometh and we know when it comes. But here, there is no specific time for the sunset clause. So the urgency is not an answer for why we're not having the fullest approach of opening this bill to the public and to the parliamentary discourse outside of the way we're doing it today. Would have had a better bill, I believe. Also, President, Clause 27 requires that the minister, after consultation with the authority, may make regulations for the implementation of the bill. Minister, is the regulations ready? Are they available? Will this be another case where, like the Road Traffic Act, we pass legislation, or the Building, or the Disability Act, and the regulation take a long time to follow, which nullify the argument that there's an urgency in this bill. Mr. President, the last time the urgency argument was used here, Senator Scott Motley pointed it out. 2017.
You were in your first term in opposition, now you're in the third. You're talking, you've been
2017. President, needs was so urgent you couldn't delay a couple of hours. 9 years has passed. 9 years has passed. Where is needs today? Where is needs today that was so urgent in 2017? So, I am not moved by the fanciful comments on the other side. The truth is, at my age, I have heard a lot of what was said today and how great it's going to be. I hear them in election time and fanciful promises. President, let's be clear. When my friend, Senator Duncan, spoke and said all of the things that will happen because of this legislation, I said to myself, hold on there. Where did I hear this before? And I remember Michael Leachin telling us 5 in 4. I remember the Prime Minister's speech, Senator Gale, where is he? About economic council, wise men, economic ambassadors, and how we were going to grow the economy. I've heard it before. And I told you I heard previous prime ministers utter these things before. So, I am not optimistic. The only thing I'd say, my friend, Senator Duncan, is this. Having heard you today, having heard Michael Leachin, the question is, who do I believe? And the answer is none of them. The proof of the pudding is in the doing. And until you do it, there'll be no applause from this side. Mr. President, as I indicated, this bill is about creating a new architecture of governance. One which move away from the current architecture which contain guardrails against abuse, against corruption, and to create an architecture which is devoid of the guardrails. Devoid of the guardrails. And therefore, open the country to abuse which we have seen before. They are essentially, with this new architecture, going back to the 60s. I remember Senator Small Ferguson, Jamaica borrowed a lot of money to build secondary schools.
I want it missing.
And President, the schools, the money was there. We were told the schools were built Minister Hill. But one of the schools couldn't be found.
What? Them find it or no?
No, not us, not us. Arthur Burt. Arthur Burt was the Minister of State responsible for the project. A commission of inquiry was set up, Mr. President. Commission of inquiry was set up. And Arthur Burt refused to appear before the commission of inquiry, preferring to pay the fine. And then he left Jamaica. And so condemned was he. So condemned was he that he never returned to the country. He died. And he never even came back for his own funeral. Never even come back for his own funeral. Buried abroad.
Mr. Brown. You know the school that they said this. Listen, the school that them said disappeared in St. Thomas. Yeah, I'm going to give you back the time.
Thank you.
The school that they said disappeared in St. Thomas was actually built in Michael Mandy's constituency in Central Kingston.
We can go for.
Ask Trevor
We can go for the report.
Ask Trevor.
We can go for the commission of inquiry report. We can go for the commission of inquiry report. But the man never even come back. My view, and this is my personal view, that this new legislation amounts to a case of flying the gate and letting the pirates. It's